Hey guys, welcome up to News Acc, Wednesday 24th November 2021. We're looking from the papers. First up, New York Times, picture of a man in Germany teaching immigrants how to weld. Apparently Germany needs 400,000 immigrants to fill various jobs, so do lots of other countries. On the left, $25 million in damages awarded to the counter-protesters from the Unite the Right rally in 2017. Price of gas line go up. Down the bottom, lies, agitation and despair filled Epstein's final days in jail. Quoting directly from this article, Epstein created illusions until the very end, deceiving correctional officers, counsellors and specially trained inmates assigned to monitor him around the clock. The only problem with that is that on the night he died, he was not being monitored around the clock. They were supposed to check him every 30 minutes. They simply did not do that. The guards went and fell asleep at their desk for 3 hours and then falsified records to show they had checked on him when they hadn't. As for specially trained inmates, his cellmate had been transferred and wasn't there in the night, so he was on his own. And as well as that, all of the cameras that would have showed anything were all malfunctioning that night. You'd really have to wonder who is deceiving who. Wall Street Journal, Thanksgiving travel, President to tap US oil reserves. Sleepy Joe wants to release 2.5 days worth of oil to lower the price of oil, but apparently it's caused the price of oil to go up. Thanks anyway. Down here, talking about lines going up and down, crisis deepens for Turkey. Erdogan's lira going way down 40% against the dollar this year. USA Today, Wisconsin parade disaster, Afghanistan. National Post from Canada, something about celebs, something here, some kind of culture war item. Grandma from Cuba, big write-up on our boy Fidel, 5 years dead tomorrow, gone too soon. There he is. Quote from himself down the bottom, only by giving the example can victory be obtained. Yes, thank you, Commander-in-Chief of the Cuban Revolution, gone but not forgotten, R.I.P. mate. Star for South Africa stunned ANC back to the drawing board. That's because a lot of their seats were taken in Gauteng. They're worried now about the Democratic Alliance overtaking them. Jerusalem Post, Netanyahu trial, Iranian nuclear talks, Tehran Times, insecurity shadow over Vienna talks. They're going to have to move her from one hotel to the other because of protests over the COVID laws. The Hindu new crypto bill seeks to ban private players, so no more private cryptocurrency in India. Good, should just ban it all. The Australian, lots of stuff here. I think the story is about wine. Global Times from China, picture of a bus crash that went on fire then afterwards in Bulgaria. 46 people died, R.I.P. Underneath that, China could open its crude oil reserves as a favour to the US. Wonder what they'll want in return. Irish Examiner, some kind of property thing. Down the bottom, police complaining that their colleagues have been suspended because they've been investigated and now they can't do their jobs properly because they're worried about getting suspended. I don't know. Irish Times, no COVID restrictions coming just yet. Overtime bill in the health service line go up. Irish Sun, celebs, football, true crime. Belfast Telegraph, football, politics. We don't have money for another lockdown. There isn't hundreds of millions of pounds coming from London, insists the First Minister. You're goddamn right there's not. Financial Times, there's Erdogan sticking to his guns. Bit of a disaster in Turkey, really. They're saying there the inflation rate is 20%, but some economists think the real inflation rate is at 43%, so really a bad time. In the middle here, story about David Cameron, who's still wrapped up in the biggest lobbying scandal ever to hit Westminster. This particular angle of it is that he lobbied one of the Tories to save Greensill from being cut off by Lloyds Bank, but the Tory that he was lobbying was a man who gave £3 million to the Conservatives and was appointed to the House of Lords. Underneath that, Sleepy Joe releasing the oil. Guardian, Windrush victims still unpaid after 4 years. Down here, wow, what a lineup of Tories we have here this morning. This from David Amos's funeral yesterday. On the left, John Major, fifth cousin once removed of Margaret Thatcher, took over after she left. Arguably, probably the least worst Tory Prime Minister of all the ones on the bench here. Beside that, David Cameron, of course, wrapped up in the biggest lobbying scandal to date. The man who gave us Brexit, remember that? Beside him, Theresa May, the woman who tried to do Brexit but couldn't. Beside that, that Speaker of the House, Lindsay Hoyle. He was Labour, but you know, Tony Blair's Labour, so Tory, now independent, Speaker of the House Commons. Beside that, Priti Patel, notorious Home Secretary, wants migrants to either drown in the Channel or get sent to Albania. Beside that, of course, Bojo, hopefully on his last days in office. The Independent, 4 stories on the top. Jeremy Hunt can yet be Prime Minister? So already getting the candidates out. Jeremy Hunt ran last time for leader of the Conservative Party, secured only 1/3 of the vote, and his campaign was funded by a close associate to the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, so he's probably corrupt enough for the job. Beside that, Me Too, Olympics, celebs, David Amos funeral, COVID, Times. Killers of emergency workers will be given life sentences. Okay, if you kill a cop or a fireman, straight to jail for life. There's that lineup of Tories again. Underneath that, NHS waiting list. Daily Torygraph, big lineup of Tories, except now Theresa May's blowing her nose. Vaccines, Army to abandon Canada base for Oman. British Army had their largest training base in the world in Canada. They're now heading to Oman, and it says here, so they can be closer to allies such as Ukraine and Bahrain, and also to potential adversaries such as Iran. So gearing up for war whenever that's happening. Daily Express, telly, migrants, police killers. Daily Mail, there's Meghan, still niece of Prince Andrew, wanted question regarding relationship. Pedophile billionaire finds here Jeffrey Epstein, who did not kill himself, R.I.P. Daily Mirror, celebs, true crime, iNewspaper, Boris, trouble at top. Prime Minister is not unwell and he has not lost his grip, says the spokesman for 10 Down Street. You know, if they're coming out and saying that, he obviously has lost his grip and is unwell. The Metro, same true crime story. Daily Star, laughing at these activists who got sent to jail because now the guy's trying to fundraise to pay his rent. So, interesting the wording. Jailed, insulate Britain, Wally begs for your cash to pay his rent. It's clearly making out that it's a bad thing to be poor, and if you're poor, you're a loser. We wouldn't have this problem with universal basic income, just want to put that on the record. Anyway, Julian Assange is still in jail, maximum security Belmarsh prison without fair trial or due process. Going to stay off corporate, state, any other type of media for the day. Just click the link in the description. Alright, thanks, good luck.